welcome back. You're still watching Fut-Afrique. We're talking all things Group D of the Afcon that's going to be taking place out in Cote next year. Everyone praises Algeria. One thing that they don't know is that back yesteryear, they had a 5-year hiatus. Then in the year 94, they were actually disqualified.
Yeah, they were. I mean, if you talk about some of the things that countries do, they played, I don't know why sometimes you want to play a player that is not eligible to play in a match.
Okay, I was about to say, do you think they are aware? There's no way you play a competition and you don't know who's allowed to play,
I always talk about it, because when I look at the rules, you sit down, you realize this player probably played for somebody else,
Yes.
That's one of the reasons, or could be booked and therefore is not able to play in this encounter.
Yeah.
But you find that happening continuously. It even happens at age group competitions.
But it's also questionable with our administration, right?
It is. That's what I'm saying. That's what the problem is. Because the coach relies on the team managers and everybody around them to be able to bring those things to the fore, So they were therefore replaced by Senegal in that particular year. And that was the year when the tournament was hosted by Tunisia. They missed out on the competition. So they've had their ups and downs when you talk about the Afcon tournament itself. Won it in 1990. We're not there in 1994. Won it again in 2019. And the rest is history in 2021, what happened. We move away from that. But they'll be making a 20th appearance overall this time around. Algeria, we have a lot of those countries who are former French colonies coming into a tournament of this magnitude. They got independence on the 5th of July in 1962. And after that huge Algerian war, which was the biggest thing that happened. And then you talk about how they use football as a tool to fight against their masters. Because they were not allowed to play football.
Explain that.
So they were able to create. France was saying, when the French came over, they said, football will not be played. So Algeria said, you don't want to play football. We'll therefore be able to play football just to show you we can. So that became something they were fighting against when they came out. So hence football became something they went to. As to say, this is how we show our resistance. This is how we can be able to do certain things. And because of them being a former French colony, they've got a lot of players who are born in France. And so you look at the starting 11, most of the time you find it in the starting 11. Sometimes you've got 8 players in the starting, or 9 players in the starting 11 who could have played for France, but up to play for Algeria. So, and I think they have a very healthy and rich squad at the moment.
Absolutely.
In comparison to the ones they've had. We're all surprised how they performed in 2021. But I'm telling you now, one player who'll probably want to fix something and has got a huge bone to pick with everybody else is Riyad Mahrez. He's going to come back and said, you overlooked me for the CAF Award. Didn't
even make top 3.
I didn't make top 3 for the CAF Awards. You chose other players to make the top 3. Victor Osimhen winning it, I have no qualms with that. But the way the Algerian Association acted to say, no. He was supposed to have been there. It's another story, it's another story. But they're playing a team that they know very. In a group they've played matches previous with some of the teams in the group.
I wanted to take you up against them and Burkina Faso. And simply why I'm choosing these 2 teams is because they're the 2 strongest ones within this group.
Pedigree-wise, yes, they are. So, if you look at them against Burkina Faso, they played twice, one team winning each. But the last time they met was in 1998 in the Afcon tournament. They
that's bonkers years ago.
In 1996,
it was 25 years ago.
Yeah, and they also met in 1996. And also in 1998, Burkina Faso, the host nation of the tournament, that particular year. That's when South Africa got to the final and lost against Egypt in the final, where Ahmed Hassan scored a beauty.
That's where our glory days ended.
No, but it was also from that time the spiraling was started because we moved from champions, runners-up, third, fourth, ish, and then out. But we'll talk about South Africa when we get to Bafana at some stage. So that's the first thing. You look at the first match for the Algerians, they play Angola in their first game. Then Burkina Faso plays Mauritania in their first game. Then you also have Algeria taking on Burkina Faso. That's the big game for me. Because I believe that after playing Angola and Mauritania in the first matches, this will set the tone. It will set the tone for where the group will go and how the group is going to end up. And if you look at the qualifying phase, Algeria meant business. Now they in the qualifying phase, they were walloping everybody. They got 16 points out of a possible 18 points. Drawing one game and winning the other 5 matches.
It goes without saying that they are the fan favorites within this group, right? And I think just the way in which they set up, actually, how the group is itself. It's Algeria, Burkina Faso, Mauritania, and Angola at the bottom. And I'll say Angola at the bottom because they are making their return.
But it's also based on the rankings, they are the lowest ranked team in that group. But I say I believe that there'll be some surprise from Angola.
Okay. Will there be a surprise from Angola? We'll have to wait and see. And I think the big question is, can Algeria claim back their glory days, something that has been gone for quite some time? But as Brian Mofokeng has said, Riyad Mahrez, the man for Man City, has a big story to tell.